Hello, everybody. Welcome to yet another episode of the Shotpost Shiw, which we can't say the real name yet because did you know that YouTube has extended its 1 minute censorship to about 3 minutes? I think.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I think that the whole don't curse in the first 1 minute. I think it's now the first 3 minutes.
Oh, I didn't even know it had a 1 minute. That was just the whole thing.
Yeah, because YouTube has become cable TV.
Remember when YouTube was an alternative to cable TV? You could say what you want. Now it is just.
Yep, that's the world we live in now, I'm afraid. But let's ignore that for the minute, Dennis, and look at our fucking children's card game, which is about to go into military hierarchy. Because we have the last of the original four tribes with the Flamville. Flameville? Flamville? Flamwell?
Flame whale?
The Flame Whale. And given that it is a military hierarchy, let's go from the top down this time. With, of course, what's his actual title? It doesn't matter. He doesn't have a title. He's just Flamvel Uruquizes. Uruquizes. Which, what do you think of him, Dennis? Does that
Looks pretty cool.
Does that look like something in the current expansion of Final Fantasy XIV we're playing? Is that what the monk set for Stormblood is in Final Fantasy XIV?
Nah, because it's fire.
Ah, yeah. It's Red Mage.
It'd be fire blood.
I think he's like one of the only Flamvell monsters that has like not red hair.
Really?
Or on failing that, physical hair. Because of course, fire monsters just give him fire for hair.
Oh yeah. Yeah, good idea. I like the way he has like fire cuffs.
Doesn't exactly seem like a weapon, I'll be honest.
No, but it's probably like, hey man, do you want barbecue? You want a hot dog? I'm here.
just if you're shaking hands, be careful. It'll get a bit toasty. But this is, of course, the man at the very top. Meaning, this is the guy who decides, let's go to war with everyone else. Because all the leaders are fucked.
So he decided this?
Well, I mean, given that it's military hierarchy, and he's at the top, I'd say yeah.
Cringe.
But now, of course, we move on to his seconds in commands. How does that work? But the two immediately below him, being Flamvel Commando, who is...
Is he shooting a fire gun?
I think that's a fire gun, yes. But he's also a bit on fire.
That's That's his heat from playing Yakuza.
I don't like that he's wearing like regular jeans, but then like greaves, and then he's just got bare feet.
I don't like his. What do I like about him?
He looks like he's wearing biker gear, but he's torn half of it off.
Yeah.
Also, he has a tail.
Oh my god, that's scary.
But would you believe that out of the 2 seconds in command, this was the reasonable one, Dennis?
Wait, he's the reasonable one?
Yeah, I mean, looking at him now, you can't think about it. Like, yeah, he just looks normal enough for the aesthetic so far. But here is the other second in command, Flamvel Fiend. I wonder who's the bad guy. I wonder who the token evil one is. Huh.
Bro, he's just hungry.
He's just hungry. Don't mind his black flames. I can't even tell what his face is.
What's wrong with your face?
What's wrong with your face? So what's going on with his hands even? Is he holding it like a fireball?
Nah, he just exited from the bathroom, I guess.
And also, leather pants. Why are trousers the theme so far? Wait, hang on, let's go back to Uriquiz's pants. What do they look like? They look like shorts, actually, given that like this appears to be his actual muscles. He's just got like tight shorts. And then we have Flamvel Fiend wearing his leather pants with chains. And
I like this design, but
it's the most out of place of all of them, I think.
yeah.
And you'll see, like, this is not fire. Yeah, it's evil fire, but that doesn't look like fire anymore. But that's all for now. So who's next in the hierarchy? We have Flamvel Archer. Let me find him. Flamvel Archer, who is apparently actually friends with Urquizus. Also,
Does he have? Is he covering his eye?
Also, is he holding that bow wrong? Like, doesn't like the arm match up with the arrow, rather than like be on the opposite side? Also, what is he wearing? Is he got like, has he got like a small scarf, a neckerchief? Also, Jesus Christ, those muscles! Look at this. This is what's his name? Giant Captain America guy. Him.
Giant Captain America guy.
The guy who did Captain America with the chest 3 times.
Oh,
the size.
Rob Liefeld.
Yeah, this is Rob Liefeld muscles. I mean, at least this isn't human, so I guess it works.
Maybe.
But yeah, this is what Urquizus considers actually a friend of his. But on his tier are, let's find it. Flamvel Grunica. It's just dragon for some reason. This is the most generic Yukimon. Again, the pants.
Flamvel will be like, I want to wear pants.
No shirts, only pants. Like, really though? Why are none of them wearing shirts? And that gets problematic when we get to Flamvel Lady. What do you think about this Dragon Man, Dennis? With his fireballs.
I think it's alright if it wasn't a part of an archetype.
Yeah, like this is generic dragon with pants. But the one thing that I'll point out is, you know, in all the Dragon Ball movies, they had this non-canon dragon pet for Gohan called Icarus. This looks like Icarus if Icarus was a man. If Icarus was a dragon man.
That's scary.
Exactly. Alright, and on the same tier as Grunica is Flamvel Magician. Careful, he'll use his Flamvel magic attack. Where is it? Where the fuck is he? I had him here a second ago. Magician, there he is. Flamvel Magician with finally a shirt. It's a vest, but at least he has one.
Well, I mean, like, what do they need shirts for? Because they're already warm.
They're already warm. I will point out, this, of all the Flamvel monsters, is considered one of the worst. Do you know why? Because his effect does not support Flamvel at all. And in fact, it supports a different archetype. Because...
How?
Because of the lore that we've yet to get to. An archetype that's yet to show up is all this card of, like, is supported by. While you control one of those monsters, this card gains 400 attack. That's all. That's all he is. So it's not even good in a Flamvel deck. Whoops. Which, I mean, it's just, old man, leave. You're not helping anybody. Alright.
Bruh.
Now we get to the lowest of the... Hang on, where's Flamvel Lady? Oh, it's... Oh, okay. Well, we'll get to Flamvel Lady later. But for now, we have the last four. Yet another personal friend of Urquizus. Urquizas is Flamvel Poon.
Poon?
Which is Fire Monkey.
It's Infernape.
And it's Infernape. And we're back to no shirts. Now, what's complicated here is this is fire, clearly. But this is hair. But they're the same colour. And I can't tell if this is fire or hair. Strange monkey. Also, why is the leader best friends with a monkey? It's like that character in all those children's like sitcom things where they just had this washed up celebrity who had a chimp with him or something.
Who?
I just remember, like, whenever I saw the Disney Channel as a kid, there was like these shows on, and there's just like just this adult character who's like has a chimp with him because that's a joke, I guess.
Yeah.
Also, is his belt like separate from his actual pants? Like, did the pants stop there and the belt's up here?
It's kind of scary.
Or is it just the shading? I think it might just be the shading. Monkey very close to being naked. Alright, now, Flamvel Dragunov. That's a different art style entirely.
Looks cool though.
I'd accept this as a Digimon. I like Digimon, I'd accept this as a Digimon. Although the fire effects
You
aren't the greatest.
accept it as a Digimon?
Yes, listen.
What does that mean?
It means that I hold Digimon in very high regard, and this barely gets there. Now we have a possibly quite recognisable one, the Flamvel Guard. It's another dragon.
Yeah, I know that one.
Because it is a level 1 tuner with 2000 defense.
I remember using that card in one of the games.
Exactly. So this is just like one of the ones that are notably useful. But I will point out, it literally breaks the theming with most Flamvel monsters. Despite being a Flamvel monster. Because the entire point of Flamvel's mechanics was that they were mostly pyrotypes with 200 defense. This has 2000 defense. They fucked it up.
Bruh.
Or was it a typo? They accidentally give it 2000. Because, I mean, it is a tuner. I wouldn't be surprised if they just intended... It's just a level 1 tuner, so just give it 200 defense, who cares? And then they hit the 0 key too many times. And finally, we have everybody's favourite Flamvel Baby. Which is just... This is a military. A reminder that this is a military faction. Yes, they might be a tribe and they presumably have civilian part, but like, this thing is supposed to fight. Also, look at his feet. This is this is the regular flame symbology, but made into a small child. But he's ready for a fight.
Why did they have a baby fighting with them?
But actually, it doesn't look like he's ready for it. It looks like he's on an invisible bicycle. Or tricycle.
Yeah, you're right.
But that's actually it for the Flamvel for now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because they're not actually... I don't know if you know this, Dennis, but the Flamvel sucked, so they didn't make any more. At least, not yet. And they didn't make too much more at that. Alright, so... Let's get back into the story,
They could have easily just made it, like... good, with good cards.
Ha! No. This is early Synchro era.
It's like...
You can't be too strong, Dennis. Which we'll get into too strong later. But for now, we go back to the beginning of the story. Where the tribes were at war. And then a fucking meteorite cried. He's just so sad. Meteorite cried some worm goo into the planet. Of course, with that came worm apocalypse, worm Barces, and worm Carteros. These all being the lower level ones. These creatures known as worms come from organic matter that clings to meteorites. They mutate to evolve and fit their environment. Which, first of all, how the fuck did they end up with some of the things we see? And they multiply. Invasive life forms that consume and exhaust the planets for the cosmos. So typical alien stuff. So, what do you think the first response to going to war with these aliens would be? From the likes of the ice barrier. You know, with those 3 incredibly destructive dragons that should never be released. Well, they immediately released one. Immediately.
Good.
They immediately released Bryanak.
I was scared.
To fight the worms. This is before even allying with the rest of them. But then they did eventually ally with the rest. Sorry, not ally at this point. They were just reached a truce. And of course, all the others ended up sending out more units. the X-Sabers, Miss Valley, and Flamvel. But of course, the Worms decided to bring out Liam O'Brien with Worm Illidan. Because the Worms at this point started to evolve, you see. Because how do you make... How do you make... Huh?
So, did the Worms really break up the tribe, like, fighting? And it's like, alright, it's a big threat, take care of it.
Yeah, I don't understand. Like, the idea is that when they were still, like, fresh on the planet, they weren't strong. So how did, like, they put enough pressure on the 4 tribes for them to say, hang on, we need to stop fighting each other? There's a bit of a paradox there, I feel. Probably because they designed the idea before they designed the actual conflict.
Worms were just... What?
Maybe the Worms were the harbingers of peace.
Maybe.
But as a result of the fighting...
Maybe the Worms were just like...
a slap on the wrist. But now, the tribes have ceased fighting. And so, apparently some minor tribes that don't actually have any archetypes of them died at this point, so I guess the Worms were strong enough. And as such, the remaining tribes did the perfect thing to do in wartime. And they held a political conference. Where they couldn't oppose the invaders alone and decided to join forces, thus dubbing their new alliance the Allies of Justice. Who the fuck named this thing? Was it Flamvel Baby? Did they put the name to Flamvel Baby? Of course, the Allies of Justice actually kind of more so got named as the actual archetype of robots they started to develop to fight the Worms, which were, of course, the Allies of Justice. Which, we'll get to them now.
I see.
Let's bring up the list of Allies of Justice, because most of the Allies of Justice were developed but either in a cooperation between the tribes or solely by each tribe to make different versions. If I could find this. Flamvel. Okay, so X-Sabers, no. Allies of Justice, okay. So first, what do you think the ice barrier would create when given the opportunity to make a robot? If your answer isn't a fucking robot mammoth, then you're wrong. This is the Ally of Justice Unknown Crusher, developed by the Ice Barrier. I don't understand why.
It's cool.
Also, well, no,
but
the Allies of Justice are based off of Gen X technology, which is, we'll get to that. And now, which of the other 3 do you want to see, Dennis?
Let's see the fire one, because we just did that one.
The Flamvel. Oh, they made a whole...
Maybe they'll make like...
They made 3. Wow. Okay, so the first one was Ally of Justice Galad Bolg. Or Garad Holg. Which, yeah, it's got lightsabers. I like this design. I feel like if this was fully rendered out, I'd like it. Orange robot man with purple flames. But not evil purple like Fiend.
Ooh, but good purple.
Good purple, because purple. Alright, and then they made Ally of Justice Rudra, but not Agni. Which I actually struggle to see what's going on here. Can you make any sense of his nest? I see, like, generally dragon shape, but, like, what's going on with the face?
It's like
they're not eyes. They're horns. Are these the eyes down here?
Oh.
I don't know. Does it just not have a face? I mean, it is a machine. I guess it's all right for it to not have a face. All right, now let's see. They had another thing called not actually in this fucking archetype, so let's just... Then they developed the Ally Salvo, which that's just a bomb. I I feel that the dual
That
terminals.
is just a bomb.
The dual terminal makes a few mistakes here in terms of picking things that could be considered monsters. Also, I can't tell. Is that actually hitting a worm there? Or is that just like a poor person being hit by one of these things? Allies of Justice, indeed.
That's a poor sausage.
Poor sausage. Worm sausage. Alright, and now let's get to the X-Sabers and then Mist Valley because they have a cooperation one. So next, I said X-Sabers first, yeah? Yeah. X-Sabers decided Allies of Justice 1,000 arms. I guess, yeah, the X-Sabers like their weapons, so I guess more weapons. And also, just in case you forgot who made it, we've got the fucking X.
Ah, good. I was really worried. I forgot who made them. I was just wondering.
What the fuck is this?
Who made
Is this like a mace? And how... Half these weapons, like... If you're going to make a multi-armed thing, I think it should be able to use the weapons in the same way. And generally I can see it slashing with a lot of these, but that's like a bludgeoning tool. And that's just... whatever the fuck that is.
Bro, it looks like a spoon.
It looks like a spoon. Yes. For when the ally of Justice 1,000 Arms wants to feed his family. Right, and then we have the Mist Valley, who, unlike the rest, decided to donate a fucking normal monster to the cause. An ally of Justice Clausulus. It's a big robot bird. And I mean, we'll see why the Mist Valley gave such a shit one later. What do you think of the robot bird, Dennis? What do you think of his feet?
It's like claws.
Kind
Kind of scary.
I think the posing has like the right like talent goes all the way top to bottom of the art. Hello, Alex. Welcome. As we go through another faction, but should be back to the story for a while now after this one. And then, of course, the Mist Valley and X-Sabers actually work together to make something. You know, that whole point of setting up this alliance? They actually worked together and created Ally of Justice Thunder Armor. Which, I get Groose vibes from his head. Do you get what I mean?
Oh, that's pretty bad.
I mean, it's kind of cartoonish, but I feel it's not the worst. If the body just wasn't a big ball, it might be alright. Also, is that just like clipped in? How the fuck is that arm?
Maybe.
It looks like they've got, like, you know the way in like video games when you can have things clipped together? But it looks like Big Hero 6.
Yeah.
It looks like it's from Big Hero 6, yeah. But I like the kind of semi-pompadour on the robot.
Semi-pompadour.
Right. And then, as the war went on, the Allies of Justice started, specifically the robots now, I mean, started doing things a bit other than killing the worms, like analysing them with the ally mind. Which, what is that?
Yeah,
This is the thing you pull out of a cyborg's chest to finally kill it. That's what this looks like. Like at the end of Metal Gear Event Rising, Raiden pulls this out of Armstrong's chest as he dies. But apparently this is just
sounds about right.
this is just a computer brain. So they started analysing the worms.
It's more like a computer ball.
They started analysing the worms, and then corruption started incorporating worm something into their technology. Like with Ally of Justice Reverse Break. Which, isn't that just a mining platform? It's got a uranium drill. Actually, this is a fucking vehicle in Gurren Lagann. but we'll get to that. And then there was also Ally of Justice. Where is it? Unlimiter, which is. Is that like a
Unlimiter?
Is that a turkey baster, or like a like the injection squeezy things, with like with a pair of like those like household drum kits things on the side. Although also now that I see these eyes, it's like a mosquito. I just realized AOJ. Alright. But those are more the benign uses of the worm technology. For they also had Ally of Justice Enemy Catcher. That's a worm monster with tech bits on it.
Is this hentai?
Not yet. We'll get to that, Dennis. Don't you worry. But yes, who would have guessed that leaving the AI to do as it will cause it to get into sketchy territory? But don't worry, that's just all this sketchy stuff actually results in is not any actual betrayal, and just the Mist Valley saying, "Hey, you're being sketchy. We're leaving." But we'll get to that. And of course, for some reason, the Allies of Justice developed different dimension technology. Again, why is this a monster? This is the Ally of Justice Cosmic
like a
Gateway.
Portal to
to Raigeki.
Yeah.
This is a portal to
Sounds
death.
about right.
Alright, now let's see what's left. Oh yeah, another one used for capturing worms was Ally of Justice Quarantine, which I believe this might have been the one that got the worm solid stuck in the thing. I think. But it was also used to contain black holes.
Nah, this is remember that worm monster that was in like that pyramid?
Exactly, worm solid. This is what got him stuck.
Yeah.
But I suppose I'll actually point out the entire mechanic of Allies of Justice is that they're effective against light monsters, and they're all dark. Which, given that the worms are all light monsters, was the point. But it's also the reason why everything except for two single Allies of Justice monsters are all shit.
Oh. Why are the dual terminal cards so bad?
Because this is early Synchro era and they didn't know how to make good cards. Alright.
Uh-oh.
Okay, well, we'll get to that. But there's other things here, but they're not actually mentioned in like the lore document, so I guess I'll just look at them as they appear in order. Alright, so then we had Ally of Justice Omni Weapon. More weapons. Also, what the fuck is this thing? There's no scissors. What is this, Dennis?
I can't tell. It's like
It's like a video game enemy, but like in a cartoony game.
it looks like
I also can't tell what's going on with the body. Everything below here, I can't tell what it is.
it's a mechanical monstrosity and you don't know like what's the head and what isn't.
So who made this? Oh wait, yeah, is it like a ship? Is this like the head and it's like the bow of a ship with just arms sticking out the front?
I can't tell at all.
Who made this? Who has the worst ideas of design to make this, Dennis?
You.
Ah, me. I made this. Alright, now we have Ally of Justice Nullifier, which is actually one of the better designs I feel across all of them. Even though it is kind of just the whatchamacallit again, the thunder armor. It looks like it would shoot water out of those cannons and fight fires.
I think the spider legs are a bit weird.
Oh wait, there's 6 of them. Oh, I didn't even realise there were 6, I thought it was only 4. Yeah, they're a bit But remember, Dennis, worm technology, which means tentacles, I guess.
I guess.
All right, and then we have look who's showing up because of Allies of Justice. It's Flamvel Magician.
Whoa, he's an ally of justice. It's so cool.
He basically is. All right, and then we have Ally of Justice Cyclone Creator, which isn't. I presume was probably made by the Mist Valley, but they're not including it in the thing where they say they were. Is Bird.
I've tried this one before.
I think this one was useful, actually. Once per turn, you can discard one card from your hand to return a spell or trap from the field equal to the amount of face-up tuners. And it is also a tuner. But Bird with sunglasses and also kind of dreadlocks, I feel. Also, how many times are they going to make like bird wings but put a fucking propeller inside?
So is that are those his eyes or are those sunglasses for the bird?
Both.
The goggles.
Well, I mean, it is a robot, so I guess it is both.
Sun goggle eyes.
Sun goggle eyes. Okay, Ally of Justice Searcher. He's fat. It's a fat.
Well, he's gonna steamroll.
He's got a mobility scooter built into him. I like him. He's kind of funny. He's also got Dr. Octopus arms and lasers. Like it looks like it does look like a fat robot built into a mobility scooter.
It does.
But now we get onto
I don't have much to say about it. It's kind of.
Yeah, these are.
This Searcher's big brother.
This is what Searcher got built into because a lot of the Allies of Justice just use Gen X stuff anyway. Lore-wise, anyway. Then we have Ally of Justice Core Destroyer. Remember this one. Because this one's actually like... This is what's considered the actual aesthetic for Allies of Justice. Because I guess this is the idea of what they look like when everybody works together. Which just means a weird version of that bird that like tips forward and drinks. You know the bird I mean?
Tips for... Oh yeah,
Like
yeah, I know.
the drinky bird. And then we have Ally of Justice Cycle Reader. Is a spider.
Cycle Reader.
Which...
What does it read?
These two bits of the wormhole it currently exists in, apparently. Why the spikes? Like, for things that are very clearly not properly, like, combat ready. Why? Right, and that's the end of the main deck. And now we get into the only ones that actually matter. Well, actually, no, let's start with the one that doesn't matter out of these four. The Ally of Justice Light Gazer. It's gazing, alright. It's gazing with that light.
It's just kind of
UFO.
looking all over the place. I don't think it knows what's going on.
I also see this as like a smiley face. Actually, it kind of looks like it's like at the top of the Iron Giant's head. You are.
Yeah, I can see it.
You are not a gun. You are a flashlight. Is that all it is?
And then does a 360.
But now we actually
So
get.
what's it searching for? Worms in the dirt? Ha 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 ha.
Probably. But now we get onto the actually important ones in order of story relevance. But in opposite order of game relevance. With Ally of Justice Catastor, which noticeably is just Core Destroyer upgraded. But you see, this one is, first of all, the one that you can see in the hands of Thunderlord over here. So let's get back to that.
Ah, that's where I recognized it from.
Well, no, you probably also just recognize it from regular Yu-Gi-Oh! Because out of all of the Allies of Justice, this one isn't anti-light, but very pro-dark. Because at the start of the damage step, if this card battles a non-dark monster, destroy that monster. That's it. So it is just quite good for the time. And do remember Catastor, Dennis, because it'll be coming back very, very later on.
With a vengeance.
Yes. And now we get into the two paired of the highest end allies of justice. With Ally of Justice Field Marshal, there she is, and Ally of Justice.
Oh.
What?
Kind of hot though.
What about the hands? Fucking flat hands. You can stick in your mailbox.
I don't know what it. It reminds me of something, but
Why does it have a dress?
I have no idea what.
Or is it like that one Pokemon Vespiquen where it's just like a jet engine, like in the shape of a dress? But you see, this one has because these are piloted essentially by the Gen X. Field Marshal here, the reason it is considered a she is that it is piloted by Gen X Spare.
It all comes back.
Whereas the counterpart, Ally of Justice Decisive Armor, which is the
Decisive. It looks more like head cannon.
Well, it looks like just a turret to me. It doesn't even look like it's armor. I guess armor is in the sense of like you call a tank armor, so it is essentially a tank. But
or maybe armor because the arm.
Alex just said, "Yeah, Field Marshal, your GF, Dennis." You like them Robo GF? But of course, Decisive Armor, given the name, you can probably imagine is one of the last Allies of Justice to be created. But this one.
So does that mean they won or lost?
Well, we'll get to that. But this is one of the. This is the other. I suppose Field Marshal probably had a bit here and there, but out of all three of these important ones, Catastor and Decisive Armor saw the most play, with Decisive Armor being just strong with 3,300. Yeah, it was actually that's all it was used for, because its effects are just the typical anti-light stuff. So yeah.
Okay.
So people just got this thing out because it was big and it hit hard. And inside of this is the original Gen X controller. But we get back to the story now. Because now that they're introduced, it's nothing but story for a while, I think. Okay, let me see. Allies of Justice have been created. The Gen X join the fight. And apparently just display their ability to combine into stronger things. If you remember, Gen X controller, Undyne, created Gen X Hydro.
Oh, yeah.
Hydro Gen X. Which, I don't know.
More like just gave them a spear and
Gave it a spear in a backpack. Where's the controller? I don't see the controller. Enemy controller. At this point, the actually sentient worms started showing up, like Worm Noble.
Which one's noble again?
This one. At this point in the fight, the worms start getting smarter. And also at this point, all of the X-Sabers were pretty much dead. So that's when the double X-Sabers got put into battle. If you remember these guys.
Oh yeah.
Quick look at them. Of course, this is when Gotoms himself decided to put on some new armor.
Community gaming.
But the reason all the double X-Sabers having this high-tech armor is obviously because of the Allies of Justice. Because, I mean, I don't understand how they expected to survive. Alright, and then after the X-Sabers were formed, unfortunately the worms took their fight to Naturia Forest, Dennis. And Cliff, of course, had to take up arms. As we see him marching towards...
So you're telling me it's nature versus aliens?
Nature versus aliens, yes. One might say aliens versus predators, in the case of Leo Drake. With his disturbing face. Of course, Naturia are a pacifist faction, so they didn't like having to fight, but they did. Because that's what pacifism means. And now, Dennis, we're already back here. You see, soon after Ally of Justice Field Marshal was rolled out, it was to be sent to the front lines. Let me find it. And they did. But on the way, it got into so many battles that it was eventually just... It was destroyed the moment it got there. And thus, after the wreckage was discovered by a Gen X controller, the final gesture took place. Do you feel sad now?
I feel less sad.
A reminder that these things do not communicate through speech. So nobody could tell how this thing probably felt after this.
Bruh.
It is at this point that the Mist Valley...
Don't do this to me.
It is at this point that the Mist Valley decided to withdraw from the Allies of Justice because, first of all, the machines started capturing worms instead of killing them and using their stuff. But also because, I don't know, he probably actually witnessed this and thought that it was incredibly cruel to the Gen X to actually keep using them like that when they can't complain because they can't speak. Which, I mean, I can't blame him.
Sad.
Exactly. But of course, unfortunately, there were other figures at work. As when the Thunderlord returned to the Mist Valley, his stress and anger was turned against him in Mind Pollutant, where this shadowy figure corrupts his mind. And also, did you just see the Catastor there? Wow, so I guess Catastor's immediately going to be torn apart.
Is Catastor like the punching bag of the Allies of Justice?
Maybe in universe, but like in the actual game, it was the best one. That's why it stuck around. But now the Mist Valley have just been corrupted and angered very, very much by this shadowy figure, who introduces us to the next faction. Let me actually find this shadowy figure first. Because this shadowy figure that corrupted the mind of Thunderlord was a fabled Raven. It's... Whoops. Fabled Raven. So what do you think of him, Dennis?
Is he like a tuner monster or something?
He is a tuner, yes.
Okay, so I recognize his art.
Yeah, you know why you recognize his art, Dennis? Because the Fabled have a similar, if not the same, mechanics as Dark World, and thus I use them in my Dark World decks. So now we get to the Fabled, who were a secret race of underground demons who have been awakened after a long slumber with all this conflict on the surface. They are split into three types, which are, let me get the list back up here. Fabled. Fabel. Flavel. Fable. Worms, no. Gen X, no. Intrigue Force, no. Fabled Realms, there we go. They had the forefront of the invasion force, which were the beasts, the fabled beasts, such as the fabled Kokator, which is it's a cockatoo.
Watch out, worm!
Evil chicken. Also, I don't understand why all of the lower level ones are all cartoony before they actually get to impressive art.
Is that an Ojama?
No, that's a fabled imp, which are named but have no cards just to themselves. All right, now let's see if I can. Another one was the fabled.
Oh, okay.
Pegulsus.
That's weird.
Pegulsus with terrible hair.
Just.
Also, despite being demons, these are light types. Because.
I see.
Because Allies of Justice is good against light type. So what do you think of this this discount Ojama riding his Pegasus? Riding his disturbing My Little Pony bootleg. Is this thing even alive?
It looks like a toy.
Yeah, it has like a glassy eye, just not thinking look. And then we get to the fabled Chihuahua. It's a Chihuahua. My God, the beasts they choose for battle are, they're too much, Dennis. I don't think I can take it. I don't think I can.
Nah. Let's stop right here.
Then we have the fabled Catsit, or Catsip. Catsip. This one's Catsip. Which I feel bad for this one. He's being bothered by his beast. Also, is that a cat or a rat? That's like a rat tail.
That's a crat.
Crat. I mean, these are good for cartoon animals. I feel the designs work. And now here's another one you might remember, Dennis, because I used it. The fabled Cerberel.
Yeah, I remember this one.
So the face, like if you tore these faces off and put them, this is like disturbing happy. This is what you would call it. Like, oh, I'm gonna get you. Then this is Pog. This is a pogging dog. Pog dog. And then this one's like, ah! I don't know why they're like this. And then we have fabled Nozuchi, which is based off of a Japanese cryptid, which is a slightly fat snake. I think.
Wait, what do you mean slightly fat?
As in, it's, for the most part, a regular looking snake, but it's fat in the middle. That's what this is based on. It's also what Dunsparce, the Pokemon, is based on. But,
oh, okay. It's weird.
Half the time the demon is in control, half the time they're being abused by the animal. He's so happy. But he's so angry. Alright, any more beasts?
Bro, you disturbed him.
Oh yeah, the fabled Ganashia. Which is... I don't know what's going on. What's happening here,
I can't tell what's... Is he squashing that?
Yeah, he's like got his foot up against his cheek.
Is he gonna throw something?
I don't know. Well, he's just like stepping on him. But it's just like, you dare question the word of the fabled Ganashia? But this is a beast, and that's its handler. Then we have the fabled Ruby Ruda, which it's probably the best design.
That is scary.
Yeah, like in terms of looks like a intimidating demon, this one gets it right. And again, these little imps suffer. All right, I'm just going to quickly. Nope, that's not a beast. Any beasts left? No, we've gotten through all the beasts. Oh wait, no. There's the top range of the beasts, which are actually synchro monsters. In the fabled Unicorn, which it's not a cartoon horse this time.
Unicorn?
Yeah, the Unicorn. It's my favorite type of music. Which, at least, despite being like the most impressive looking beast so far, this one actually seems to be in control. Because it is just, I guess, just a horse.
Okay.
Then we have the fabled Kudabi, which is a horse in mourning. Oh no, it's a donkey. What is this? It's got like hooves. It's got like that flared out thing of a llama. It's got the little tuft tail, but its eyes are up here. And it's got like a veil, so it doesn't have a snout. I'm disturbed by this thing.
So am I.
I mean, also, by the way, I'll point out, nobody knows the fabled are evil at first. So, just keep that in mind for when we see the rest of these things, when we get into the actual people.
Uh-oh. What about Raven? Is he not a person?
Well, I mean, nobody saw Raven corrupt the Thunderlord, so... Actually, wait, no, we still have... Because fabled society is clearly very weird in that all of their, like, They have 3 like circles of hell. Get it? But all the beasts are up top, but so are all of the children. So that's where the likes of fabled Cruz is probably kept. Which she's sad. Sad doll girl.
Sad.
But don't mind her, the fabled are all evil. So she's probably just lying. And then we have the twins, fabled Lurie and fabled Topi. What do you think, Dennis?
Do they die?
No.
I hope so.
Well, I mean, they probably do. It's not any part of the story. And also, fabled Ultro, who is actually a baby. So, I don't know. The society's a bit weird. So they all dwell within the realm of demons. They're all demons, but this is specifically the realm of demons.
That's scary.
And now onto the second layer. The realm of roars, where we'll immediately get onto the bad parental figure of fabled Ultro here. Fabled Ms. Toji, his grandmother. The oldest spellcaster amongst the fabled.
Looks like the same height.
Exactly. Which this looks like that one of the...
How tall is she?
I know.
Can you use her like a football?
Half the size of an apocalypse. But this looks like one of the God Hand from Berserk. So
I've
that's
never watched Berserk, so I don't know.
Don't watch it, read it. But now we get onto another pair of twins. No, that's
Were
not
like the
famous.
Golden Age movies good or something?
The Golden Age movies were good. Everything else, not good. But well, I suppose the old 90s anime, but who cares? But now we have yet another pair of twins. The fabled Solkius, who's Buff Boy, and fabled Ashenvale, who is also Buff Boy. This is also the realm where Raven exists.
Is he reaching to the...
He's reaching for his
attack
football.
defense?
He dropped his glasses. He can't see without his glasses. Which actually, that reminded me of Johnny Bravo, where they do the opposite of that joke. He drops his glasses. He's like, my glasses! I can't be seen without my glasses. So these are the two
That
buff...
is very Johnny Bravo.
The two Buff Boy twins with their feathered wings on their arms, but bat wings on their backs. Is Raven like their nerdy little brother? Of course, now we have
Raven, like some weirdo that just follows them.
Well, who knows? But now we have more of the middle tier of the realm of roars with fabled Grimro, feathers, lady with feathers,
Feather dress.
feather dress, feather hair. Some of her hair, not all of it. Some of it. What's she pointing at? Is she pointing at her boyfriend behind you? And Alex says this is another one of your GFs, Dennis. How many have you got? One per tribe? But now we have...
Perhaps.
Perhaps. We have fabled Kushano. Let's see. Fabled Kushano here. Who is doing the lifts up glasses. Except he's wearing goggles. I think he's in the lift.
Lift up goggles.
And also the size of that book. Who needs a weapon when you can just hit them with a book? Also, I think he's one of the only ones with like white wings. But now we get to the leader of the middle tier. Except probably not, because we're going to have to go back, because it appears yet again that the lore thing doesn't include all of the monsters. Because maybe they added some after. With the commander of the Realm of Roars, fabled Deianira. Deianira. Who is a Rob Liefeld creation. He's also like...
Wide boy.
Wide boy, with wearing like... Hang on, is he wearing like that armor from that episode of One Punch Man? It kind of looks like it. But, what do you think of this guy, Dennis? Do you think he's a respectable leader?
Uh, he probably got his leadership from beating everyone else in a wrestling match.
Ah, yes, Klingon promotion. But now we get. Oh no, actually, let's go through this. Let's go through these other monsters and see. Okay, fabled Galabas. This is Raven after he's been bullied and goes to the gym. Get it? If you rearrange his name, you have Ball Gas. He has a spiked ball.
What?
Well, no, he is actually green, so it isn't Raven. He just has a similar headpiece.
Are those like scales?
I think they're, yeah, kind of like scales in the shape of... Not in the shape of wings, but I don't think they're even like... Probably like... Those are probably rigid. He's probably the big dumb. And now we have fabled Eurustos, who's just dead. When the fabled have this kind of thing in their faction, like, is it just the entire idea? Like, yeah, they might look evil, but we can't judge them by appearance. Is that like, I don't understand. Like, these are so comically evil looking, especially when you get to the leaders. But now we have fabled Diff, who looks like the villain of Drakengard 2, whose name is Gizmor.
Gizmor.
Yeah, Gizmor. Take away the wings and the horn, and he's just Gizmor. Fabled Diff. He looks respectable. Like this, like some of them, like, yes, I can see. Trust this man. He doesn't automatically look evil as fuck. Unlike this.
Yeah.
Alright, what's left? That's it. We're done with the fabled main deck. So now we have the three kings.
There were four.
Wrong game. In the realm of gods, the final circle, which I guess they are like organized by power, except not like organized by political power rather than actual power, I think. With the first king being fabled Valkyrius, who's like, hey, give me that. So this,
I want it.
He's also got another demon, an imp. The imps are the messengers of the gods, so that's why.
Oh, okay.
So they're carrier pigeons. So what do you think?
I don't know much to say. Just kind of like it.
Demon Man, nice Demon Man. This is probably Raven's dad.
Demon armor.
Now, the weaker one, who's seemingly by virtue of being called the second king, like given the order of these three, is probably politically more powerful. Of fabled Ragin. Ragin. Who? He's after just like burning you with like a sick insult.
Hence the background.
Or he just finished his rap. Again, two more.
So
imps.
is the background his mixtape?
His mixtape is in fact fire. Also bulge. I don't. So you can see, why does their armor have like pecs and like and a six pack? I guess it's like Roman style. And this
So
is
weird.
This is another one to keep in mind for later, Dennis.
Uh-oh.
But now we have the final fabled monster, the true fabled god, fabled Leviathan. You definitely recognize this one because I summon it all the time.
Yeah.
Where he is, he's just yucking it up. He's actually probably just after throwing down his wine glass and saying, "What is a man? Nothing but a miserable little pile of cards." Alright. Yes. The absolute god and two kings work together in the fabled realm. But deep down, the three of them don't trust each other at all. So, yeah, the fabled hierarchy is him on top because he's stronger. And they're constantly backstabbing each other. That won't bite them, will it? There's no possible reason why these incredibly untrustworthy types can work together.
I don't know.
Alex,
kinda like
you make the mistake. This is Dennis's strongest BF. Also, Aladdin shoes. Alright, now. That's the fabled god. And now, would you believe the fabled imps have names? Or at least, like, descriptions of them?
I think Discord froze for me, so I didn't hear any of that.
Would you believe that the fabled imps that we've seen throughout the cards have names?
Wait, they have names each their own?
Most. I like some of them don't, but like a good deal. So we have first with fabled Pegasus. Pegasus is fabled imp Limbo, which he is the most unique looking of them all, given his
Because he has the mustache
and the knight's helmet. Yeah. All right, and the fabled imp with Cocator is fabled imp Lust. It's I don't know. He's wearing a speedo, like an Ojama.
I told you it was no Ojama.
And then we have next with Nozochi, the one being choked out. This is fabled imp Glud. I don't know what that means. Glud. Gludd.
Well,
No.
it's dying. Don't have much more to say.
Let's see. Glud. Nope, doesn't have a description. Alright. Of course, over with the Valkyrius himself is fabled imp Wrath. Right there. The little guy. The scale.
Yes, Wrath.
The scale. The scale imp. Imp for scale. Which actually, think about that scale. That's like a size of a small dog compared to Valkyrius. Whereas that's actually like to scale, I think. Actually, wait, no. Hang on a minute. Okay, slight spoiler here, Dennis. The reason I told you to remember Ragan is because when he comes back, he's riding on the fabled Unicorn, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you look at the size of that imp on Unicorn and the size of the imps around Vagan, he's a bit too big for the horse.
Maybe the horse is too small?
But who cares? It just doesn't matter. Don't question it.
Question what?
Exactly. Then with the cat Sith here, we have the fabled imp Heresy. He's so nervous. Maybe he's allergic to cats. And now, the fabled imp with Ganashia. Oh, Ganache. Is Vio. Again, not an actual thing. The big white imp we saw with Unicorn is fabled imp Greed.
Greed?
I think they just decided not to say greed.
No, they meant green.
And with the three good boys is fabled imp Malice. And finally, with the one not so good boy, not as good boy, is fabled imp Breach. What the fuck does that mean? Do you know what it is?
He breached terms and conditions? I don't know.
He breached the terms and conditions. Alright, back to the conflict. So by this point, the Mist Valley have removed themselves from the conflict, while the fabled tribes makes themselves known to the surface world, but are being amiable by saying, yeah, we'll help out against the worms. We're not untrustworthy at all. And apparently their actual philosophy is be faithful to your desires. That's it.
Sounds like a
wait.
villain.
Wait, hang on. Okay, so because that's their philosophy, they help, but only when they want to. They don't swear to help. They just do it every now and then. That's what they do. It is now by this point that the Gen X have entirely gone over to making military stuff. Like Gen X Army here. And now, the Fabled already are putting a plan into motion because there is another tribe. I question if this should actually be considered a tribe, but known as the Jirak.
Or like the giraffe.
Because the Jirak, the actual land controlled by the Jirak, is where the Fabled woke up. And as such, the Fabled decide, fuck you, we're going to kill you. So let's go through the Jirak, shall we? These ones don't really need much explanation. They are just fire dinosaurs.
Oh.
Like,
That's it?
They're fire dinosaurs, yeah. So here we have Jirak Aolo, who's freshly hatched. Cute. I mean, I can't say it isn't.
Bows.
Baby dinosaur. And then Jirak Staurico. They have like really detailed eyes for some reason, a lot of them.
Why is it green on the feet and head and the end of the tail?
Moss, maybe? I don't know. It eats fish and sticks its head in marshy water or something? I don't know. That's the best I can think of. Now we have Jirak Gallum. What the fuck? Has it got a cannon in its chest? That's not how biology works. I mean, given most of this isn't how biology works, but that especially. Also, is it like covered in tar? Like, it kind of looks like it's just slowly coming off. Chicken feet. Jirak Terra, like Ptera. It's a fire pteranodon. Also, like, why has it got like really detailed chest? It's fire. It's a dinosaur. Not much to say. Jirak Brachus. Wait, is that like? Do they have like digital like code on their chest? Or is this just a bad attempt at like fire veins? Alex says, "Where's Jirak Blue Eyes White Dragon?" Never.
Always.
Okay, next we have Jirak Monoloth, which is baby dinosaur.
It has a skull for a head.
It also has like, did I do that?
Oh, it's creepy.
Alright, we'll move on. Jirak Dino, which is the most just... What?
Why does it have a pumpkin on the
fire.
belly?
Fire. That's... Because fire. Also, why are its feet on fire? I hate this one. This is...
They ran too fast.
This is shit. I don't like it. Also, why does it look like it's got a seam like a toy?
Ugh.
Alright, next is Jirak Guayaba. Which... It's got like hands. The amount of fire they're using isn't exactly the best because it kind of covers up most of the design.
Yeah.
Now, it's... No, sorry, not Jirak Iguanodon. Jirak Iguanon. And oh my god. He's charged with Spirit Bomb, Dennis.
Oh.
Get out of the fucking way.
Maybe that's what they're gonna do to the Fabled.
The Fabled get out of their like big ornate sealed door. They see Jirak Iguanon outside doing this. They close the door. Nobody's home. Now we have Jirak Velo, which is just you let a child colour a velociraptor.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what most of these kind of are. Now we have Jirak Protops. Not one of the better ones, I think.
Looks like it's about to vomit or something.
It's doing like the gagging that animals do.
Yeah.
Also, it has like its knees are going inward. It's got like knock knees. Alright, Jirak Hera. Again with the guns. Why guns? It's like I never noticed that they had guns.
Why not guns?
Because
Maybe.
these are supposed to be dumb animals. Jirak Tyrannus. This feathery, furry Tyrannosaurus, because of course. Then we have Jirac Spinos, who's done all of the cocaine. So much so he's lost a lot of teeth.
Poor guy.
Yeah. And now we have the, air quotes, leader of the Jirac, Jirac Titano, who, again, these proportions, I hate them. The fat belly, like
He ate too much.
biped fat belly looks bad to me. If it's not like worked in correctly, like if the thing was leaning forward, I wouldn't mind it. But no, it's just got a fat belly. So what do you think of this rock, not a rock type, but just like rocky giant dinosaur with all these color details in its face?
I kind of like it, except for the belly.
Actually, I just realized most of the Jiracs have watermelon color.
Ew.
Or just,
Right.
or even like regular melons with the yellow and green. The melon dinosaurs. Alright, well, we have the extra deck ones with Jirac Velveto, who is the Jirac version of Sonic. This is like,
What are the blades?
well, that's like the Velociraptor toe, I guess. I think. So why has it got a rigid tail? Like its tail is just like completely bolt straight. He's gonna run away and say, "You're too slow, Dennis." And he's right, because nobody wants to run after him. Now we have Jirac Giganoto, which looks more like a T-Rex than the T-Rex one.
Yeah, right.
And I think out of all the Jirac monsters, no, maybe not. Okay, looking at the effect, it is just supporting Jirac, but this is the one I've seen the most. Now we have one final Jirac monster, but let's just preface it by this is what happens when the Jirac are about to go extinct because the fables start killing them all. So Jirac Titano, what do you think he does, Dennis? What do you think of the last ditch effort of the Jirac is to like stave off extinction?
I don't know, probably get like a...
Get?
big dragon. I don't know.
Well, you see, what Jirac Titano does is fucking shoots into space, becomes Jirac Meteor, and comes crashing down to kill them with him. That's what they do.
Sounds lit.
But that hasn't
Okay.
happened yet. So anyway, the proud Jirac clan refused to let themselves be hunted by the Fabled, and obviously started fighting back. So that's just... Now, keep in mind, the Fabled are at war both with the worms every now and then, and the Jirac. And it's at this point that the Ice Barrier decides, time to unleash another dragon. This time, of course, the Gugnir.
So, oh, yeah,
Which is
looks cool.
supposed to be the middle dragon, but it's actually the weakest of the three cards. Because who cares, am I right? And now, apparently Gugnir, despite the red glow, still shoots like ice breath.
That's cool, I guess. I'm not sure.
Oh Jesus, and now we have...
I don't know why, but I like the colors with the red, the purple, but still icy.
Yeah, I like the inner red glow through the ice. But now we have the Mist Valley, who are like free away from everyone else. They've obviously just left the war for the most part because they don't want
They
to work.
just left.
Yeah, they just left. And even the corrupted Thunderlord, he might be a bit more angry nowadays, but he's still... Like, Raven didn't control him, he just used his anger to get him more angry. So now, the Mist Valley, noticing the Fabled are attacking the Jirac, because Mist Valley, of course, are the hippies of the main factions. They decided to jump in and help. And to do so, they requested the help of a tribe of birdmen within the Mist Valley.
Wait. What do you mean a tribe of birdmen? I thought they were all birdmen.
The Mist Valley tribe are all birdmen, yes, or birds. Whereas the tribe that they help is a smaller one in the area that is the Mist Valley.
Oh, okay.
Because the Mistworm was killed by the worms. Mistworm being...
Wait, the worm killed the worm?
No, this worm, the WURM, was killed by the worms. Because,
WYRM?
and this meant that the mist stopped getting created. Because this was the Mist Worm. So now the Mist Valley is just the valley. But, meaning the long
valley
lost...
will be missed.
Now that after that, the long lost Dragoonity tribe of birdmen was found. Dragoonity? I don't know. And the Mist Valley communicated with them to get their help against the Fabled. So let's take a look at the Dragoonity, shall we? Which they're split up into several groups. With, of course, just the birdmen, like Dragoonity Trilbus. Looks like you're after catching him, like, putting on a pose, but, like, he's going to say, oh, I didn't see you there. Also, his wings look absolutely terrible.
I like his armor mask thing. I think it's better than a lot of the Mist Valley stuff.
I feel if the Mist Valley saw that, they'd find it a bit offensive. Alright, and then the main point of Dragoonity is that they're a tribe of birdmen who train young dragons to, unite. They're union monsters. That's how they work.
I see.
But so they train young dragons to either become their mounts or their weapons. Like Dragoonity Brandistock. Who just...
I think it was flying and it flew too fast and it entered a different dimension.
This is a dragon that's too young to be fighting. It's like still like young and just like making noise like Then we have another one like Dragoonity Koraska. Which the fucking, considering how muscled it is, I can only imagine what its actual neck looks like underneath that.
Ooh.
Muscle neck.
Bro, that is a long neck.
Now here's one you might recognize. Dragoonity Phalanx. Who has the Chad chin. Oops, that's a worm.
I don't recognize it. Why does it have two horns?
I think those are just part of the helmet.
Ah, okay.
Oh, actually no, Phalanx. The entire point of Phalanx was the shield and the spears, so those are two spears.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. It's cool, I guess, but it looks very small.
Okay, well, apparently Dragoonity is getting support in the modern era, so here's a monster that I haven't actually got high quality art for. Dragoonity Remus Romulus? So this looks like it's Stardust Dragon support because of the nose.
This is my son.
It's also wind type, so this could be Stardust Dragon support. Alright, now Dragoonity Kos. The sword. Somebody put a sword on his head. Just take the sword off. Let him fight. Next is Dragoonity Acles. This is a weapon. There's no dragon in there.
Help!
He got caught in a Chinese finger trap.
That is scary.
Remember, some of these become mounts, and some of them go on to become like actual warriors in their own right. But like it's just, I feel like it's a bad case of genetics. Dragoonity Javelin. Get thrown. Lots of pointy noses.
Very.
Well, Stardust Dragon just had grown up. Dragoonity Dragon. Now we have Dragoonity Partisan. That's not a partisan.
What's a partisan?
Look at his head.
That's
That's just an entire massive sword, like going out from the front of its head. It's a good thing these are muscly as fuck because I'd be afraid for its neck. Its own neck would be crushed.
Maybe it's trying to balance itself.
He's in the middle of like wobbling left and right as he tries to keep balance. Alright, next is another new monster, Dragunity Guizarm.
Guizarm.
I don't know what about his arm. Yeah, it looks fine. It's a simple little dragon man. And now we're on to Dragunity Dark Spear. Again with the... At least this one looks like light... This one looks lightweight at least, because it looks like it's, it's hollow.
It's a spear with
It's just,
eye holes.
he doesn't even have any other armor. He just has that thing on his head.
That's scary.
And now we're back to the actual Birdman. Dragunity Legionnaire. Who's...
It looks like he's ready to box someone.
You're making a ruckus at the bar and he walks up to you. Okay, I will be honest, Alex, what you have to say with this being a Dark Knight mount. In the graphics of Final Fantasy XIV, I think this would look quite good. But anyway, back to Legionnaire. He's got like the bump that some birds have. I don't like it. Like, do you know what I mean? Some birds have like that head bump.
Yeah, I think so.
Are those his eyes? Or are those his eyes? Is that just like patterned feather and that the eye?
Bro, he has gold cuffs and what I assume are boots.
His wings are sparkling. His feathers are sparkling.
Is he like a rich Birdman?
But like the Dragunity are like a warrior tribe. All they do is train. They don't have like this kind of culture of money or anything.
Is he wealthy in combat?
Maybe it's El Dorado type thing. Like they have so much gold and they just use it, but they don't know any value to it. Given that they were a lost tribe. Dragunity Pilum.
Okay, what is that?
This
There is a screwdriver.
That's it. I feel these are great designs. He's got like a goblin chin. Like, I take away the wings and the tail. That's just a goblin. A goblin with a screwdriver head. And now we have Dragunity Ducks. I don't see any ducks. DUX. But this is the very Egyptian looking one.
I like it.
What? Is he a cheerleader? Again with the shiny. Why are they so shiny? Now we have Dragunity Militum. New GF Dennis for the Secret Tribe.
Always.
And she has the extremely edgy combination of weapons of a single dagger and a sword.
But she has long hair and dress.
Yeah, and also, wait, hang on. That, oh wait, no, now I see the bird eyes. For a moment I thought those were the eyes, and that looks like a bug.
Ew.
Now we have Dragunity Senatus. Old Birdman. Has the same wings as your man down here. Where is he? Same wings as Tribus. Is this another case of the ice barrier where it's the same character but older?
Perhaps.
I mean, he even kind of has the same bird head a bit. And he's holding the red feather. Yeah, he's him, definitely. So, well, there you go. He's gotten old, Dennis. Now we have another new one. Dragunity Legatus. More gold. They do seem to be going for that, whatchamacallit? Kind of El Dorado vibe, maybe? Just use gold.
Maybe.
Now we get into the very, very, namey ones. With Dragunity Angusticlavi.
Angusticlavi.
That's his eye down there, not that. Don't make the same mistake as me. He's Bowman.
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 What's with his eyes, though?
Those are his eyes. It's a hood. That's not his eye.
See it.
That's exactly the mistake I told you not to make, Dennis. Yeah, he's just regular Bowman. And now we have the top tier warrior, Dragunity Primus Pilus, who says it's time for your whipping session, boy.
Uh-oh. Please no.
He has like a chainmail shirt. showing off his guns. Why is his design so different?
He looks like instead of wings, he has just a giant shield.
Yeah. He doesn't need to fly. He whips a dragon into flying for him.
He
Okay.
whips a dragon, but he flies instead.
But because some of the dragon whelps grow into mounts, and some of them into warriors. Hang on, I'm about to sneeze. Alright, sneeze averted. But some of the dragons grow into warriors of their own right, like Dragoonity Arma Misteltane, which is the name of a legendary mythical weapon. Now, can you imagine the day that this dragon got to stop having a stupid piece of shit on its head, and instead got to carry a weapon?
It is a weapon.
Yeah, but now only in the metaphorical sense. Now we have Dragoonity Arma Levaten, which for some reason has feathered wings as well. I like this one. This is good Dragon Man design.
Good Dragon Man design. Yeah, it's
And
alright.
we have a third Dragon Man who's another new card. Dragoonity Arma Graham. Can't exactly see him very well. Big red dragon, big sword,
Big tail.
big tail. Alright, now we go to the extra deck, where they have a lot. So let's start with the lowest of the synchro monsters, with Dragoonity Knight Lewin. Oh hey, there's Dark
Lewin.
Spirit. I think that's Dark Spirit. And I think that's the old man as well.
More like head spear.
So obviously these will just be one of the dragon whelps, but older, and one of the warriors.
And wiser.
Exactly. And now we have Dragoonity Knight Vajrayana, which actually looks like it might be a younger version of Leviathan instead of or Levaten,
I don't know what that is.
the big red one that with the sword before the last one. But
Oh.
it looks alright. It's very
like
snaky.
it.
I don't like how big the body is there, but how thin it is here. And we have Dragoonity Knight Gay Bulg, represent with Rainbow Dragon apparently. They look a lot better. And also lots of Frieza muscle.
Ugh. Beside the freezer muscle, I like it.
And to go with Gay Bulg, we have Gay Jarg from a different Irish legend.
Bro.
Which this looks like a Archlord monster, or Dark Lord monster. But we'll get to that one day.
One day.
The fact that the blade seems to be actually melded in with the head now, kind of disturbing. And now we
Is
have
it really?
kind of Dragoonity Knight Trident,
Ooh.
Guy of the Dragon Champion. Yeah, Guy of the Dragon Champion would fit in here. He just shows up at the club. I like this one. I don't know what about it I like, but I like it. Maybe it's just because I like Poseidon's Trident. But if they're going to name it after Poseidon's Trident, they should have called it Triana, after the name of the actual fucking trident. They go to the trouble of Gay Bulg, Gay Jarg, and all these other names, but then they just go Trident.
Maybe.
It's disgusting. It should be Dragoonity Knight Triana. But now we have Dragoonity Knight Barcha, who is not taking any of your shit today. He's very angry. Very angry boy.
Very angry boy.
Also, he has like, he kind of looks like the Wicked Eraser a little bit, which is the evil version of Slifer the Skyjack. All right, last two synchro monsters, one of which is new. Dragoonity Knight Aridva. The art's not too good. It's snaky. Got 6 wings. Can't really tell what's going on.
I can't tell what's going on either.
Alright, and last one. Dragoonity Knight Ascalon. Cool.
Ascalon. Ascalon.
Oh my god, it's the fucking one with the huge sword in its head. And it's the strongest one of the synchro monsters. Be careful who you make fun of in school. Because this is what he grows up into. So what? Yeah, I mean, I like it. It's nice, majestic golden dragon with, and now that it's like a properly flying dragon that appears like snaky, I don't mind the fact that it has a thing sticking out in front of its head. Oh, and by the way, remember when I mentioned Remus? Well, here's Romulus, the Link monster.
Oh, it's a Link monster.
Yes, because clearly they gave Dragoonity support because it is a synchro archetype and they couldn't pull synchros out, so they needed to. So, again, this looks like a Stardust monster. Although actually I think the point of this is not actually like a different dragon. This is Remus but bigger, so they call it Romulus.
Ah, I see.
Because Romulus won. Romulus stronger. So of course the Dragoonity live within Dragon Ravine, which I might as well get up to. Which is definitely a card you've seen before. Because it generally supports dragons.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing that one.
That's the really long red one there.
Long boy.
Alright. Okay, so now they all live in Dragon Ravine, and their entire life is training up these dragons to be stronger warriors. And that's it.
No. OMG.
But now, Dennis, it is time for the final battle with the worms.
Yeah.
So you see, the worms, hitting the end of their evolution, are of course going to attempt to summon Zero. But first, they have to open the dimensional hole to pull in Zero. But the Ally of Justice have a plan against that. For you see, it's Ally of Justice Quarantine. So obviously this is supposed to be the hole where Zero is eventually going to come out of. But would you believe they fucking failed?
Oh.
Because worm call happens, where Elemental Hero Neos gets to just watch as a giant gooey moon comes out the sky. Thus, of course, being the summoning of Worm Zero.
Uh-oh. Elemental Hero, do something.
So how do you think they fight Worm Zero, Dennis?
The meteor, maybe. I don't know.
Nope. It's that old final sacrifice for, in grief, presumably, Gen X controller decides he will be the final weapon. Thus, he is installed within Ally of Justice decisive armor.
No way.
And utilizing that, they just shoot Zero, and that's fucking it. They just shoot Zero. I mean, it's not even like they don't even imply that the decisive armor was destroyed. They shoot Zero, they win. That's what the story says.
Is that it?
Oh wait, hang on. It says Zero and the decisive armor attacked each other at the same time, and the worms were eradicated. It doesn't say anything happened to the decisive armor, but okay, maybe. The worms were defeated, but the peace, of course, was not everlasting. Because, I mean, of course not. It's a fucking Fabled. The Fabled are doing their thing. Actually, let's get the right Fabled up. Alright, the Fabled Leviathan. There we go. There he is. So the Fabled Leviathan, of course, ordering all of his troops to continue killing Jirax. And of course, now that the war...
Sounds about right. I mean... They really got us, man.
I mean, the Jirax fucking suicide bomb, so... Well, not yet, but yeah, you get what I mean. But, then, of course, because of the war and the Fabled love war, their dimension, the 3 realms of whatever, they opened up fully at the end of the war because more conflict, more open. So now they're completely just out in there. But in response to this new Fabled conflict, because they're still all light monsters, but all of the allies of justice are seemingly destroyed. They hang on, let's find it. Yes, they created a new stage of Gen X called the Gen X Allies, which are all Mega Man robot masters.
Yeah.
So here we go. Let's start from the bottom with Gen X Ally Chemistry, who is a fucking... That's a Ratchet and Clank enemy.
I could see it.
He shoots fire and he shoots acid.
Shoots facid.
And now, oh no. And now we have Gen X Ally Solid.
Okay, that actually looks like a Mega Man.
Shoots acid, shoots liquid. Yes, this does look like a... Not Mega Man. This is a... like Mega Man ZX era. Like, not robot. Not... What do I call it? Reploid? Not a Reploid, but like just the sentient robot people they have. That's what this looks like.
Wait, sentient robot people. Isn't that what a Reploid is?
As in, but yeah, but not like the fucking animal ones. That's basically what I mean.
Oh, okay.
Not the typical boss Maverick idea of a Reploid. And now we have a classic Mega Man design. Gen X Ally Remote. It's Remote Man.
Bruh, remote and controller. Hey, buddies.
Gen X controller. Oh my god. So this is...
Very simple. I don't know. I like it, but...
I like how it's a classic, like, early 2000s remote, because you can see the fucking thing inside.
You think the Gen X, like, telepathically or, like, whatever, just tell remote, can you change the channel?
Change the channel, we don't want to be in this universe anymore. Now we have Gen X Ally Changer, who has suction cups for some reason. And also like a... Is that like a speaker? This looks like Numberman EXE.
Who?
From Mega Man Battle Network.
Ah, I see.
Like these all... And now, to completely do away with the Mega Man... The hint that these aren't Mega Man bosses. Gen X Ally Birdman.
Bro, I remember seeing this one. That's just...
Yeah, because this one is a generic support type. It's the one that gets the most play.
Ah, I see. It's...
He's T-posing.
Why is it Ginyu posing?
Oh, Ginyu. Oh no, he's Ginyu posing. He even has like the Ginyu shoulder pads.
Oh no.
It's Guldo with a bird helmet on.
Which one's Goldo?
The short green one.
Ugh.
Now we have Gen X Ally Crusher. Who looks... He looks like one of the Bionicles in the Bionicle movies.
He looks like he's recording something. You walked in and he's looking at you.
And he's just after pulling out a grenade. It's like, oh, no one can ever know. Now we have Gen X Ally Power Cell.
Bro, he got the power and the mohawk.
He got the lightning on his crotch. Why is that on his crotch? Like he has like a painted on one on the chest, and then he has like an actual a modelled one on the crotch. I don't understand why. I will say the one thing I don't like about these is that they look nothing like Gen X anymore. The Gen X aesthetic is gone.
Yeah.
And they also look nothing like most of the Allies of Justice. Right, now we have Gen X Ally Volcannon.
Volcannon.
Who has...
Well, at least they're shooting out molten lava or whatever instead of leaking all over the place.
Leaking?
Oh,
You called?
Never mind.
They just put that one Gen X monster on its back and just started shooting it out. And now another fire one, Gen X Ally Bell Flame. It's Fireman. It is just Fireman from Mega Man. It's not very emotive. And considering these are all dark type, here's the one that's actually like aesthetically dark type. Gen X Ally Duradark. Which is like, this is the evil rival.
Talk to the hand.
This is Proto Man. It also has that. It also has the same fucking weapon as the Gundam Destiny.
Ooh.
And now the only level 5 Gen X Ally Reliever. This one's alright, I think.
I can't tell what's going on.
It's
though.
a jet. Like, it's got though that's its shoulder, it has its arms, back, feet, leg, body, backpack, head.
Ah, okay.
I like it. It's alright.
I like it. Is okay.
And now we have the 3 synchro monsters, which are all supposed to be like multi-element in aesthetic anyway. Gen X Ally Tri-Arm.
I like this one.
I like this one.
I don't know why.
I like his gun more than the next one, but I like the next one's design better. But yeah, he's a cool sci-fi robot. Now we have Gen X Ally Triforce. Worse gun, better design, I think.
Yeah.
Except for the fact that his legs get thin at the hips. It also it would fit as a elemental hero monster. Now we have the final Gen X ever. Gen X Ally Axel. He's got wheels.
Do you think he flips around all over the place?
Probably. I think he never stops moving. That's the impression I get. Oh, apparently the Gen X allies did actually supply themselves to the different tribes. That's why they have the different elements. So obviously the fire ones go to the Flamvel. The wind to Mist Valley. The water to Ice Barrier. And the... Okay, I guess the strong one just goes to the X-Savers. Alright, now... Whereas the two big synchros, rather than the Axle, were developed conjointly by Ice Barrier and Mist Valley for Triarm, and obviously that leaves Flamvel and X-Saber for Triforce. Alright, at this point, the fight continues on until the Dirac decide to fucking end it with what is one of the best card arts I've ever seen. Dirac Impact, where Dirac Meteor is striking the ground.
that's it. It's over.
I like to think that like Titano just like jumped the gun because they're clearly not happy with it.
Yeah.
As you can see, there's the fabled Pegasus, and there's still worm goo all over the city from Zero. But now,
scary.
At this point, because apparently it wasn't actually fucking mentioned here, at this point, the Flamvel have died out entirely. Like, entirely. They're dead. No more. But at the very center point of where Dirac Meteor struck, there was the birth of the Neo Flamvel, which there are only 6 monsters to, starting with Neo Flamvel Origin. It's the little fire baby.
It's cute.
And keep this one in mind.
Uh-oh.
Again. As well as this one, Neo Flamvel Hedgehog.
Oh, it looks like you look up and then he's just suddenly jumping down.
Looks like he's doing like skydiving. That's his parachute. So the Dirac's fire ended up creating the Neo Flamvel, who, through the ability of nobody telling them otherwise, started worshipping the concept of the original Flamvel. And we have Neo Flamvel Garuda, which is the ugliest bird. The ugliest bird I've ever seen. And Neo Flamvel Shaman, another monkey. Or is it a cat? I think it's a cat.
It's both.
It's like a tiger. And I'm wearing a witch doctor's mask. Neo Flamvel Saber, who's got great hair.
Oh yeah.
Actually, this looks like Commando again. That's just Commando.
Bruh, it's Flame Swordsman.
This is the real Flame Swordsman. And now we have a new GF for you, Dennis. Neo Flamvel Lady.
She is pretty hot.
Unlike most of the Flamvel, she does not wear pants.
Oh yeah.
So you see, unfortunately for the Neo Flamvel, they were very short-lived, as flames quite likely are. But through the power of religion, they worshipped the original concept of Flamvel so much that they fused into the ancient Flamvel deity, who is doing a JoJo pose. And he's pretty badass.
I can't tell what the pose is.
He's got his arms crossed, I can tell that at least. Arms crossed, looking down. His face is a bit too small to see the details, but there's his head. There's like that's his left elbow. There's where the hand is. He's just doing the arms crossed, looking down pose.
It looks like you said something, and he doesn't know how to respond, so he's like...
Maybe if I just look stern enough, they'll leave. But of course, now, who but to make yet another mistake but the ice barrier, where they finally release Trishula, the final dragon of the ice barrier.
Oh yeah.
And at this point, lose complete control of all dragons at the same time. Because, what? Although apparently that killed all the Fabled anyway, so it worked. Just, you've unleashed the most powerful dragon on the land. So...
It's so cool looking, but it's like... I don't know. Oh hey, Alex has that one.
Yeah, it is, like this is the one. Well, no, sorry, this is the more so the one of the two good ones. That is like the stick it in any synchro deck if you can make it, because it's good.
Oh yeah.
But so the ice barrier, realizing they've made a gigantic mistake, decide, oh shit, we should probably reseal those, shouldn't we? So of course they take their mirror of the ice barrier to attempt to seal them once more with the magic triangle of the ice barrier.
Yeah.
Of course, the religious faction release all these dragons, but then they leave it to the military faction to actually try and seal them again. And of course, they get the help of, what's it called? Duel, Tiger King of the Ice Barrier.
Yeah,
Which
boy.
Which is a Dark Souls boss.
Oh. Still a good boy.
So they got him out, but turns out he's weaker than all three of the dragons, so why the fuck?
Uh-oh.
So...
But he's cool.
That didn't work. But that's the end of that with the dragons. So that's actually the end of the main story. That's where it ends, with the dragons running amok. The Fabled are all dead. The Flamvel are all dead. X-Sabers are more than likely dead, given that there was like 10 of them. The Worms are dead. The Gen X are forced to make only military machines. The Mist Valley is probably fine. Naturia is perfectly fine because pacifism.
Yeah.
But
Now we can keep Leo Drake.
Now let's get to the small what's the word? Foreshadowing for the next one. So during the dispute over the ice dragons, the ice barrier had two mages and childhood friends within them. One Natalia and the other Noelia. So let's get the visual of them. So here we have Natalia, currently of the ice barrier, and Noelia, also of the ice barrier. Ice barrier. So these two mages decide to be somewhat moderate and wise in the sense that maybe we shouldn't release these uber powerful dragons. Whereas both their families were on either side of the argument. But because by the time they actually got the balls to do anything, the first two dragons were already released. So then they took an extra mirror of the ice barrier, and they intended to unleash a demons that had been sealed since a very long time ago, which had apparently been used to defeat the Fabled. Which, if they knew that, why the fuck did the ice barriers believe that Fabled helped them? But nonetheless.
Bruh.
So, using the ice barrier mirror, the two attempted the demon summoning technique. And they succeeded, summoning Steel Swarm Hercules, the leader of the Steel Swarm.
Big, wide.
And they succeeded, but not without cost. Or rather, not without trial and tribulation. For you see, Natalia ended up losing her life, whereas Hercules ended up sowing the seed of what is to come within Noelia in the future. And thus the Steel Swarm were let loose onto the world because of an attempt to prevent a much worse calamity. As well, a seemingly much worse calamity. But that's the thing. They were wise to say maybe we shouldn't unleash the dragon, but unleashing this entire race of ancient demons? Yeah, that seems alright.
Yeah, that seemed alright.
So, obviously Natalia died, and Noelia was the survivor.
Bruh.
But, of course... Oh, actually, hang on, no, there's still more. I forgot. The sacred spirit of the ice barrier looks at all these fucking stupid idiots that came after him in his tribe and says, what the fuck are you doing? And so then he just decides, I'll do it myself.
Ooh.
Void. He does it himself all in one go by sealing all three at once.
Chad.
Exactly. Chad, zombie, spirit man. So all three of them are captured because
Comes back from the dead just to do his job.
just to flex on all of them. Alright. And now, the final thing. Because this is going into the start of the next war. But like this is the end of the last war. The ice barrier are all but ruined, apparently. Probably because, I don't know, somebody summoned some fucking giant bug monsters in the middle of their city. So Noelia decides to adopt the survivors because they're all children. And after the storm. Including children from a human tribe within the Mist Valley. The Gusto clan.
Bro, there's one crying already.
Exactly. One of them is actually Natalia's son. So, there you go. I think it's the kid in white. So here we have the two with green hair are obviously from the Wind Gusto clan over in Mist Valley, seemingly also dead. And that's it. That's how it ends. The fight is over, and the children are adopted for a new world. So what do you think, Dennis? What do you think of the very first story? I'll be honest, it's not better than any of the rest. In fact, it only got good right at the end there.
It's alright. It's just a start. I didn't expect much at all. It's just really calamity, apocalypse, sausage.
Sausage. Apocalypse.
It's alright.
Yes, but
I'd say it's very, very okay.
It's very simple. That's how I look at it. It is like it feels like excuse for the cards so far. And also they had very little actual story in it. When there's a lot more text in the stuff with part 2. A lot more text.
Oh.
But that's all for now, everybody. That's the end of this episode of the Shitpost Show, because we're definitely 3 minutes in now. But this will be the final Yu-Gi-Oh episode for now. Don't worry, we'll be back once all the rest of our content is done. But next time, join us as we end up making, or I say me, because I'm the only one with it, as I end up building the Mazen Kaiser Infinitism on stream. And we just...
That's,
is the Mazen Kaiser, but it's got more detail, that's all.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about... Was it Mazinger Infinity with the, like...
Yeah, but that's the idea. Like, Mazinger Infinity was the movie where they put new detail on the old designs. And then because Mazen Kaiser didn't show up in that, it's not the Infinity version, it's the Infinitism version. So it's
okay.
Mazen Kaiser as it would have looked if it showed up in that.
Mazinkaiser's pretty cool, so I think people should watch out and
What are you
enjoy
talking
the-
about? Oh, yeah. Well, Dennis, the one thing you can take away from the first Duel Terminal Story is that you have a harem of every element, of every type.
What's new?
Exactly. And now you have to adopt these kids.
Oh, well, would you look at that? I kind of have to go.
And that's that. We all do, Dennis, because that's the end of the show. And fuck's sake, because I can think of nothing else to say, go ahead and keep on shitting.